25 to 30 minutes for this to, perfect, perfect, perfect. You're gonna, okay, it's going into the oven at 350. You can eat these by the dozen. Good. Hi, I'm Stephanie and this is Gluten-Free Wednesday. Today we're cooking traditional macaroni and cheese. What could be better than that? I've already got some pasta, some penne going here, and it's organic brown rice pasta. We're going to cook it till it's about al dente because it's also going to go in the oven for a while when we've got all of our nice half and half and lots of cheese. We're going to go ahead and rinse it. But it looks pretty good. It looks like what we're used to, and it tastes pretty good. We'll see how it works in this recipe. All right, we're going to have some cheese muffins to go along with our macaroni and cheese, and we're using Pamela's baking and pancake mix, and I'm doubling the recipe today because we like these so much. I've got about 2½ cups of Pamela's in here. I'm adding a ½ cup of sugar, and we're going to add 2 eggs. The egg shells will go in the compost pile in just a minute. Okay, so we're adding a ½ cup of water to the mix. We're going to add some cheese to it to go along with our completely cheese dinner. That looks good. If you're making a sweeter muffin, you could have added a little bit of vanilla to this, but I think we're good here with just some of the cheese. Okay, now we're ready to put our muffins in the muffin tins. And I've already prepared the tins with a little bit of shortening there so that they won't stick. Although I haven't found much of a problem with this, with these muffins sticking. We're going to go ahead and get these in the oven because we also need to have our macaroni and cheese in there. These do rise up and look beautiful when they're done. All right, let's get these in the oven. Okay, the cheese muffins are going in the oven. And we're going to start on our macaroni and cheese. I've already prepared this dish by putting some butter in it. I'm going to put ½ of my noodles in here. And I don't like to spare any of the good stuff on my macaroni and cheese. So first I like to put a lot of butter on there and some salt and pepper, because I haven't put any salt and pepper on the macaroni. I cooked the macaroni with a little bit of salt, but not much, and that I'm sure just did not make a difference in how it was going to taste here. All right, this is very simple. I'm going to take some shredded sharp cheese, and again, I don't like to skimp on my macaroni and cheese. That's what makes it so good. And I have another package of shredded cheese here. Okay, again, I'm going to, that made more than I thought it was going to. Looks good. I'm going to add butter. I know that this looks extravagant, but, you know, it's the old family recipe. More salt and pepper. This is so simple. Okay, that looks good. Now, I'm going to add some more cheese. And then the next thing that I have to do is make a flour and milk combination that I put into the macaroni and cheese, and it'll bake into it. Since we're not using flour, I'm going to use one of our flour substitutes over here. I'm going to put a little bit more cheese in here. No, you just can't skimp on this. All right, so the other thing that I like to do too is to make this a really tasty dish is use half and half. So I like to use the half and half on special baking and cooking. So I'm going to put, gosh, I don't even know, maybe a half a cup of flour. I'm going to just kind of see, I'll have to work with this a little bit because I've never made this before, and see how it works. And I'm going to put in the half and half, because I want the half and half, I want it to come up to over or just below that cheese area right there. So I may have to add some more. So here all I'm doing is mixing the flour and the milk. On the other hand, what I do want to happen is that it kind of congeals and kind of cooks together without it getting too pasty. All right, so then I'm just going to, it doesn't look like there are any lumps in it. I'll see as it, it looks pretty good. So I'm just pouring. Looks good. Okay, now you can see how much milk is in there. I'm going to add a little bit more salt and pepper. I'm really not adding that much. Not much is coming out here out of that salt shaker. A little bit of pepper. And as I said, the topping of the macaroni and cheese is what everybody in the family goes after. It gets a little bit of a brown, crusty paprika. I'm adding some paprika on the top. The paprika gives it a little bit of a spice to it. And this topping, as I said, everybody in the family wants a piece of that with every serving. Okay, see, that just looks really good to me. And it'll take probably 25 to 30 minutes for this to cook and to thicken. And yeah, that looks good. That looks really good. Okay, we're going to pop it in the oven. Okay, it's going into the oven at 350 for about 20 minutes, 30 minutes. My muffins are already in there. They're looking good. We're going to make our cookies for dessert, and then also get our Swiss chard ready for our vegetable. Okay, yeah, see, I'm just checking on my macaroni and cheese, and it's setting up nicely. Oh man, that's going to be good. And you can see how nice that top looks, and I'll keep an eye on it. And if I need to, I just might add a little bit of more cheese around the edges. That milk is going to cook into the pasta, and that's looking real good. And our muffins, our cheese muffins, are looking good too. I'm going to keep them in a few more minutes and get ready to make our peanut butter chocolate chip cookies. But perfect, perfect, perfect. You're going to wait 25 to 30 minutes for this to